Welcome back to Money Makes. My name is Callie, and today I am so excited to share with you my apple butter recipe. So this recipe is so incredibly simple and easy, I cannot stress it enough. All you really need to do is put these ingredients into a pot, stir every now and then, and that's basically it. So it's absolutely perfect for fall, autumn. It's a great recipe to use up those apples while they are nice and in season, and I can't wait to share with you. But before we begin, as always, please remember to subscribe, like, share, chat in the comment section, and follow me on social media for more recipes and additional content. So let's jump right in. The ingredients that we're going to be using are some apples that I have just finely sliced like so. I have some granulated sugar, brown sugar, vanilla, and here I have some water, apple cider vinegar, some fresh squeezed orange juice, and a little bit of honey, salt. I have a little spice combination. I'm going to be using some cinnamon, some whole cloves, a little bit of nutmeg, allspice, and that's it. So, and you could really use any kind of like warm pumpkin pie spices that you like. Some cardamom would be wonderful, whatever you have. So you need a large pot. I'm gonna be using my Dutch oven. You do not need to use a Dutch oven. Any large pot will do. And to that, I'm going to add all of my apples. I'm actually gonna add all of my ingredients besides the vanilla. We're gonna add the vanilla at the end. And so, let's add all of this in. And I'm gonna turn up my burner to about medium-high, and we want all of these ingredients to come up and start simmering. And once it gets to that point where you start seeing some bubbles, we are going to cut the heat to medium-low, and we're gonna let it bake for about 20 to 25 minutes. Stirring about every 10 minutes or so. Remember, there is quite a bit of sugar going into this, so you don't want anything to burn or stick to the bottom. And then we will proceed from here. Okay, so just to recap, bring the pot up to medium-high. Once all the ingredients kind of start bubbling and it's simmering a little bit, then we're gonna turn the heat down to medium-low, and then we're gonna keep it on medium-low for about 20 to 25 minutes, stirring every 10 minutes or so. And then once we get to that point, we will continue and I'll tell you the next step. But again, be sure to stir occasionally. Okay, so my apples are bubbling quite a bit, which is good. I'm gonna give this one stir for now. And like I said, we're gonna turn the heat down to about medium-low. And we're gonna pop the lid on, okay? And remember, do not forget to stir about every 10 minutes or so. Just keep a little bit of an eye on it. I mean, you don't have to be standing here the whole time, of course, which is the great thing about this recipe. You could kind of just put it on the stove, let it do its thing, stir here and there, but you don't need to babysit it the whole time. And then I'm gonna meet back up with you in about 20 to 25 minutes to tell you the next step. Okay, so my apples were on the burner for exactly 20 minutes. I just removed the pan from the burner. I also removed the cloves, and I just set those aside. And so next what we're gonna do is we're going to blend this up. I'm gonna be using my immersion blender. I love my immersion blender. It just like cuts the cleanup time in half, and they're fairly cheap on Amazon, so I highly recommend buying one, but you can of course use a regular blender, a food processor, whatever you have. But keep in mind, you are supposed to let things cool down when you use your immersion blender, so be careful. It's still pretty hot. I'm breaking some rules right now, but I'm gonna be careful. So we're gonna blend this until it is nice and smooth, and then we will proceed. Okay, so my apples are nice and blended. At this point, I'm gonna turn my burner back on to low, and we're gonna let this simmer or cook, not simmer, we're gonna let this cook for about 45 minutes or so. What we want is for this to thicken up quite a bit because we're making apple butter, not apple sauce. And what we have here is essentially applesauce. It's really delicious. You could just leave it as is, but it's not gonna be as thick as what you would expect out of like an apple butter. And also I wanna mention, I'm making a smaller batch, I would say, of this apple butter. If you want to make this a larger batch and gift it to other people, or if you have a large household, it's just my boyfriend and I who live here, we don't need a gigantic batch of this. Double the recipe, triple the recipe, you could do that, of course. But this is a nice kind of small, manageable batch that is perfect for a small household of like 2 or so. So again, I'm gonna let this cook on low as your burner will go for about 45 minutes or so. It might take a little bit longer than that, it might take a little bit less than that, but I will show you exactly what it looks like when it gets to what I think is the perfect consistency. And I mean, it is delicious as is. Like I said, we just made a bomb applesauce. But we're gonna keep cooking this, and I will show you after around 45 minutes exactly what it looks like and give you a little close-up. Okay, so I hope you're able to see the consistency of this apple butter. As you can see here, it's very, very thick. It sticks to the spoon when I hold the spoon upside down. That's what I think makes a really good apple butter. It's a much thicker than what you get from an apple sauce, and that's just how I like it. At the end, don't forget to add that vanilla and just stir it in for just until it's nice and incorporated in the apple butter, just a few seconds or so. And yeah, and one more thing, because like I said, this is a small batch, the great thing about this is that it doesn't take hours and hours on end to make like it would for a larger batch. However, if you want to double the recipe, go ahead and do that, but you are also gonna probably have to double the cooking time, which is fine as long as you're up for it and you have the time, you know, more power to you. But yeah, for household of 2, this is very sweet. This will, you know, take us a long way, and this is about all that we'll need. It's absolutely incredible. It's perfect for the fall, autumn. Enjoy it, it's absolutely delicious. And as always, for the full ring recipe, head to my blog, moonymix.com. I'll put the link in the description box below. Click on the link, the recipe will pop right up, and make this apple butter and let me know what you think, because I would love to hear from you. So thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.